Well, it's interesting. Firstly, it was great to hear Lucy Liu talking so frankly and honestly there. As far as Stage Mother is concerned, I think at best it's fine. Its heart is in the right place. The thing that it isn't is breaking any form of new grounds. I mean, the story is, Jackie Weaver discovers that her son has left to this bar in San Francisco. She goes there, and then she takes on the club because we learn from the backstory that the main cause of the estrangement is that her husband, who's a kind of stick in the mud, straight arrow, he was the person who really had a problem with their son's lifestyle, and she kind of learns to accept it. And you could write on the back of a box of matches the plot and the way everything's going. And it was interesting watching this. I think there are many predecessors to this. You think of films back in the 90s, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, Too Long for Through, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. So it's not breaking any new ground. What it's doing is just giving us a scenario that we can see is going to play out very straightforwardly. And then it's resting almost entirely on the strength of the performances. Lucy Liu is very good, although she's not in the movie a whole bunch. Jackie Weaver is carrying the movie on her shoulders, and Jackie Weaver is terrific. And you really feel like the movie needs somebody like Jackie Weaver to pull it all together, because what it is doing, although I think its heart is absolutely in the right place, it felt kind of safe to me. It's from a script by Brad Hennig, but you can tell exactly where it's going. So Jackie Weaver, who was Oscar nominated for Animal Kingdom, Silver Linings Playbook, she is an absolute force of nature on screen, and everything that the film has going for it is in the performances. It's in her performance. It's in Lucy Liu's performance. It's not really in the screenwriting, or indeed the direction, because there's nothing about the film itself that leaps out at me. So yes, it's good-hearted. It's also pretty safe, kind of bordering on the bland. And the best thing about it, I mean, for example, if you compare it to a film like You Don't Know Me, which is the documentary about showgirls, that has a lot more to say about drag culture and the way in which drag culture is interesting and radical and transformative, particularly in relation to showgirls. That, I think, is a much edgier film than this is. This wants to play it safe, right down the line, mainstream, and that's what it does.
The trouble is, though, saying a movie its heart is in the right place
Yeah, I know.
is kind of not good. We could make a movie whose heart is in the right place, but that's not enough. I think one of the issues is the drag show that they do. Oh, and by the way, one of the drag queens is called Joan of Arkansas, which is great.
Oh, that's a good pun.
Tequila Mockingbird, Cherry
Yeah.
Poppins, and Dusty Muffin. These are the drag queens. So I thought that was funny. But the show that they do, the final kind of we've saved the club and here's the show. I didn't. It wasn't very good.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing that plot spoiler there, Simon. Although, as I said, if you didn't see the end coming, you weren't
Well, okay,
watching.
sorry.
No, I
Okay.
know, no, no. The thing is, I think it's one of those cases in which it's not a plot spoiler because there is nothing to spoil. I mean, there are a couple of funny gags. The line which is in the trailer when they're singing "Amazing Grace" and she says, "Okay, well, that was neither amazing nor graceful." I think that's quite funny. But no, I agree with you. I think it needs to be a lot sharper, and a lot more adventurous, and it isn't those things. But so plaudits to the performers for giving it their best. The film itself is at best okay.